Hey everybody, David Corson, Wednesday, September 24th, a little past 6 o'clock. Looks like I might get a little rain here. We'll take it. In any event, I'm going to go check the mail real quick. Just got done with the podcast with one of my alumni from the Petty School, NFL coach, life coach, 10th degree black belt. Awesome conversation. Talked for about an hour. It was awesome. Anyways, out in New Orleans. Had another podcast at 11 with an AI guy, and AI's everywhere, man. It's getting intertwined everywhere. Just awesome. But anyway, just a really busy, nice hump day today. A lot of stuff done. Up early, getting things done. A couple podcasts. Supposed to have one of my buds come over and do a little electrical work on a couple of lights that my wife wants to change out, and he's coming over tomorrow. But I was like, hey, we're going to cook those steaks. We'll get some more tomorrow. I'll steak again tomorrow night. Anyway, on my podcast, this guy, he's been a life coach for 40 years. Anyway, he's like, don't eat bread. Don't eat pasta. Don't eat any of that stuff. It's so bad for you. Oatmeal. And he's just gone, what you eat and what you put in your body will determine, how you live and how long you live and all that stuff. I mean, it was really, really interesting discussion from a dietary mindset. Can't tell you how, I say mindset every day. People laugh at me. Mindset is everything. It just is. And if you've got a positive mindset and you go to bed with a positive mindset, you'll wake up with a positive mindset. If you give it all, even though things might not have gone your way. Sorry, I'm checking my mail. If things didn't go your way, that's okay. Hey, at least you can check on it and make sure you don't, figure out what went wrong or why it didn't work, and then you figure out the best way to do it. It's like getting no's in sales. You get the first no, that's not the real reason. You have to get 9 or 10 no's to really figure out why you're getting no's. Yeah, why are you getting no's? The first one's never the real reason why someone doesn't want to, do business with you. It takes a bunch of no's, and finally you'll find out why they didn't get something from you. It's like asking someone out on a date. Oh, I'm busy. Tell me the reason you don't like me. You don't like my hair color. I mean, it's something, but you can find out. But that's what makes it exciting. Look, that's the game of life, man. You got to ask questions. You don't know, ask, and then you'll know where you stand. But just a really good conversation. Marine, 10th degree black belt, life coach, football coach, NFL, college. I was a lacrosse player. Went to my prep school. He's got petty pride. It was just really, there's just so many cool people that are around there in the world that. He was a couple of years after I graduated, but, knows a lot of people out of my class and stuff. And, it's just really, really cool to have those conversations. And, just the little stuff he talked about meat and this and that. It's just really cool. And, in any event, I swear, I get stuff out of just talking to people and have them communicating. It's just such a cool thing to do. And, I learn something from people every day. I mean, today I learned about diet. I learned more about mindset. I learned about, never quit, never give up, keep moving forward, positivity, mindset, making sure your body gets, the correct rest, all of that stuff. So, I don't look at those podcasts. I look at them and, hey, man, that's like my 1 hour of learning. That I'm going to learn something, and I definitely learned from that, hour discussion. So thank you, Mike Storms, for being a guest on CCCT, Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. But, hey, it's Wednesday night. I still got time left in this TGIF. I've got some things I got to get done upstairs. I got to get my desk clean, and I got some other things I got to take care of. I'm still working in production. I'm trying to get this facility maintenance issue filled, get all the files to my artists here by Friday, and then next week just work on getting some ads in. We want to post that issue at the end of the week, right at the end of September, beginning of October, and then move on to the October issue, and then get back on schedule and stuff. So, hey, here's what I'm thinking. for Hump Day, Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Oh, about 6:15. And that word is determination. Yeah, determination. Do you know what determination means? That you're resolute. You know where you want to go. There's no turning back. There's always moving forward to get to the finish line. And you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And a lot of people, they don't finish what they start, so they're not determined. And in life, you got to finish what you start, because first of all, if you don't finish what you start, you wasted your time just starting, and you can't get that time back. So even though you might not like what you're doing, finish what you start, or learn from it, and don't do that again. If you don't like to do it, do something else. Do something that you like to do. And if you do stuff that you like to do, you can be more determined, and you're going to get better at it. And it's just that way of thinking. It's your mindset. But determination, man, determination gets you up in the day. It gets you home at night. It gets you through the day. There's speed bumps, there's pit holes, there's bowlers that you run into. There are all these hindrances in the day that just kind of bum you out. You get a no on a sale. You thought you had an RFP that was coming through, then they changed their mind. You got a change order. In publishing, articles don't come in, or you thought you were going to get a longer article and it's too short, and now the magazine's a jigsaw puzzle, and you got to figure things out. But that's what makes life exciting. Never a dull moment. I just kind of take things like that. I just look at, like I said, it's sports. In the it's the horn just sounded when I get up, when the alarm. I don't even use an alarm, but my body alarm goes off, and that's the start of the game. And then when I go to bed at the end of the day, it's the end of the game. Game's over. I'm in the shower. And all during that day, you're going to have ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, some things are going to go away. Some days everything's going to go your way. Some days never. But your determination to finish strong with momentum, learn from that thing, and be determined to keep on going and keep on learning, never give up. Man, you can apply that to business, personal athletics, life, sleep, whatever you're doing in a 24-hour period. Athletics, determination. You're determined to beat your rival this week. That's why you busted your ass all week, watching film, taking care of your body, feeding it, getting its rest, bringing your game day, your A game to the game, and then leaving it all out in the field. All right? And I'll tell you, athletics, we talked about athletics. He said, hey, man, I got an interception, and I won the Blair game. Back when I was in school, and that was like the greatest thing in life. Blair was like one of our rival prep schools, and we have a thing called Blair Day, where Petty plays them in soccer, field hockey, football, and they won. We probably have. I'd have to look at the school history and see who's winning, but I'm pretty sure that we're up on them. But he won the Blair Day. That's like winning the Super Bowl. When you have a rival prep school and stuff. It's DU in hockey, playing, Michigan or Boston University or whatever, and, in the finals, that's like their Blair Day or the Super Bowl. Hey, listen, athletics, I'm telling you, it's just determination in athletics, whether you're practicing or it's in a real game or it's playoffs or it's a championship. Determination can determine the outcome of the game's going to be. If you're more determined than the other team and you execute, you're probably going to get a W, and you're going to get to learn. Listen, you learn when you win, you learn when you don't win, but you never lose. You always learn. So with determination, with the right positive outlook and so forth, on the athletic field, ground ball, you're determined you're going to go get it. You're more determined than that defenseman is. You beat him to the ball, you get it. That's what determination can do. It can make you dig deep. It can get your anamorphins going, where it's just going to drive you to go get that ball, where it's going to dig deep and bring that strength that you didn't even know you had, because it's the end of the game, you're beaten up, you're tired, but man, you got to get that ball, because it's either win or learn. So determination athletics, man, it can just change games. If you're more determined than the other team, that other team doesn't have a good look, because if you're determined, you play a determined team, or just any sports, you play someone who's determined and they're more determined than you're going to have a rough day out on the athletic court or field or whatever you're on. But if you're determined and you're positive and you've worked out and you've practiced that way, you brought your A game, you brought everything, you probably have a good chance of, statistically getting that W or that learn on the board. All right. And once again, business is the same way. You got to be determined in business. When I quit Nielsen December 17th, 2001, I was determined to succeed. Everybody told me not to do it, my parents, everybody, but I quit, and I laid it all on the line, and here I am standing in 2025, okay, 24 years later, almost 25 years. It'll be the anniversary this December in a couple of months. So I think that'll be my publisher's page. I think that'll be my one of my videos that I'll do. I'll do it on December 17th, talk about that. I don't know what word I'll use, but shoot, I could put, I could put a bunch of words in there. That was a serious decision. Quit Nielsen, expense account, travel, and I could have retired there, 401k, who knows? I could have been president of that company. But it's just not, my heart wasn't in it. And if your heart's not in it, you're not having fun, go do something else, which is exactly what I did. And, sure, it was a bummer when they shut my magazine down. Sure, it was a bummer I had to lay my staff off. Never going to do that again. And did whatever I could to get them employed. But, it was rough, but I started my company and my company, man, we've been, I didn't take a paycheck for 6 months, and then, grew really quick, sold the healthcare magazine, good PR for my company. But then, 08 came in through 10, the economy crashed, went to the .com. I started my company right after 9/11. Talk about the worst time to start it. But I was determined, When I got out of my house the first day, I said, okay, where do I want to have my office? Do I want to have it in Beaufort, or do I want to have it up and coming? You know what? I'm going to do it up and coming because I want to ride my bike over the Beaufort Dam. It's a nice road, and drive up across the lake every day. So, but I was determined, so I just went and got an executive suite, a fax line, I had a press release and a phone, and that's how I went to work. And that's how I do everything all day. I talk to people, I do Zooms, I email, I text, I do whatever I can. And hopefully, I can, my gig is I want to make a sale every day. I don't care if it's a penny, $1,000, $10,000. Every time I go to the P.O. box, I want to have money in I don't care if it's a penny check, a dollar check, or a $1,000 check, $10,000 check, whatever it is. I just want to see money in the box every day, And the more calls you make, the more FPs, the more you send out, the more communication, positive, giving people value and telling them why they should, be with you. I'm telling you, your mailbox will get filled up. You'll have more emails coming in. Hey, I'm ready to do that program with you, this or that. It's like the FDNY, firemen. You don't think they're determined when they go and on a call that they're determined not only to bring themselves, back in one piece, alive, but they're also determined to get those people out of those burning buildings, and they're determined to put that building out. Why? Because that's what they love to do. They want to help, but they also don't want to have a lot of destruction, and they want to get the fire out as quick as possible. So you talk about determination. Hey, running into a burning building, you got to have guts and you got to have determination. All right. And I'll tell you, when my grandfather told me I had to get on top of the paint booth that we constructed, and I had done the welds when I was 16, and the president of the company of the Denver paint car was there, and he said, hey, go up there and unhook the overhead crane. And I told the superintendent, Dominic, I was like, I ain't getting out there, man. He's like, your grandfather's here with the owner of the client that you're building these paint booths for. You got to get up there. I'm like, Dominic, those welds fold. Those welds don't hold. I just learned how to weld. If they don't hold, I'm going to fall down 22 feet on the railroad ties that I just laid. I'll probably, break all my bones. He's like, David, your grandfather's there. I'm going to tell you one more time. Get up on the overhead crane, get on top of the thing, and unhook the overhead crane. So, and I had to have dinner every night with my grandfather. I mean, I'm talking sit-down dinners, yes, sir, no, sir, maybe I be excused. It was like eating dinner in the Army. He was in the Army. He was a combat engineer underneath Patton. But that's the way we did. We took the flag up in the morning. We put it up in the morning. We took it down. We folded it in. I mean, I came from a military family. So when I was talking to my grandfather, never drank or smoked, didn't gamble. He was a straight shooter, man. And you know what he told me that day at dinner? He said, hey, were you scared up on there? I said, hell yeah, I was. He goes, did you think the welds were going to hold? I said, I wasn't sure. He goes, but you still went up there and did it. Why'd you do that? I said, because you were standing there with a client. I didn't want you to think that you had, a wimp grandson that wouldn't get up on the thing. Sometimes you got to do stuff that you're not going to like to do, but you know what? You got to go through with it. And believe me, I was scared. I knew I didn't want to land down on those railroad ties. It was a good fall. But I went up there. The welds held, And I got the air thing down, and my girlfriend says, "Hey, you know what, David? I was proud of you out there, man. And you know what? When you went up there and undid that, the president of Denver Paint Car, he looked over me and he gave me like, hey, man, that's your grandson? That's badass. I don't think I would have done that." And my grandma said, "I don't think I would have gone up there, but you know what? If General Patton told me to do it, you know what I would have done? I would have gone up there." So I appreciate you respecting me. But determination, man. On the athletic field, business, you got to be determined every day to get things done. Whether it's revenue, hiring people, new product announcements, just making sure your company is running smooth day in and day out, and looking for new ways that you can, improve your company. Little bits, and one day at a time, because they all add up at the end. And determination just gets you up in the morning. I'm determined every day that I get up. I got my game face on. I'm ready to take on, the big guns. I'm just a little publisher independent. I got to go up against all these big companies. I love going up there because I can talk the talk, and I have no ego on that. I've just been around so far. I've been on my own. I've been an entrepreneur, and I've seen all the ups and downs, and I've had a crazy life. I've buried a lot of people. Maybe I've got thick skin through that. I don't know, but it really was. Today was an inspiring conversation, both of them. So, but determination in business, athletics, you got to have it. Relationships, got to have it. You got to be determined to walk across the floor, even though this girl's going to tell you no, not to dance. You got to go over and do it. You're determined that you're going to make the varsity football team. You're going to practice all summer, or baseball team, whatever it is. Determined, hey, I'm determined that I'm going to make this relationship work. I'm determined that I'm going to clean this freaking company, this client around, even though we, they were screwed over by someone else and they think we're going to do it. But determination, and let me tell you, it comes in all different, ways that you are determined. The veracity of it, but determination. Without determination, it's very, very tough to get things done, because you got confidence, you've got that attitude, but sometimes, it's got to be a bunch of words all put into one, and that whole, it will get you there. But if there's one little word that's not in there, it might not go. You got to have determination in everything that you do. All right. And, relationships, and listen, determination, to ask that person out, or take it to the next level, or ask someone to marry you, you want it to be perfect and everything, but you gotta have determination, because it's a change of your whole life. All right. And it's not just the people that you're personal with, it's the communication you have with people every day. You got to be determined to get the most out of every conversation you have with someone, even if it's with only 30 seconds. You can always get something, a little nugget of information from someone, of how you should do something differently, or why you should, or maybe there's a word that they use, or the way that they say it. I am flattered every time someone says, "Oh man, I really like that line. Can I steal that from you?" You go for it. I stole it from someone else. I just tweaked it a little. So, but determination, whether it's personal or just casual, when you communicate, keep it simple, negotiable, flexible, listen, stick a sock in your mouth. You don't need to be talking. You got to be listening and learning. And determination is just, one of those things that happens in there that gets you to go. Like I said, walking across the floor to ask this beautiful woman out to dance, hey, it's scary for a lot of people. But you know what? It's okay. Go ask her out. If she says no, that's okay. Hey, you don't even know me. You probably like me if you did, And then you go back and go ask her again. Hey, did you change your mind yet? I really think you'd like me. Give me a shot. Come on, let's go out and dance. Well, that's the way it used to be. I don't know what they do these days. I'm 62, but I dance with a lot of people. I date a lot of, and listen, you might find out that that's not, even though she's good looking, she's got no mind. She's blah. She's boring. Change direction, go after someone else. That's why you play the field until you find, for relationships, until you get married, because you want to make sure when you get married, that's the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. All right. And, through the good and bad. All right. And if it's your responsibility to make positive and negatives, and if you do that, you'll figure it out. So, with that, listen, it's from the heart. And listen, I forgot about my body. You got to have determination to get your body the rest. That's the most important thing. If your body doesn't get the rest, it's not going to perform for you. And you need your body for the rest of your life. It kicks ass for you every day. So make sure you're determined to make sure it gets 6 to 8 hours of rest every night. And I'm telling you, it'll blow you away. So listen, that's my word for September 24th. determination from the heart. Take it to the bank. Put up here in Knowledge Vault. Use it for whenever you need it. You work on determination for the next 3 months and 6 days. You're going to have a little less than 100 days of data on yourself. It'll blow you away. And dictate it right here on the phone that it's attached to your hand. Put it in a diary or make it a vlog, a running vlog, or a notepad, or an email. Bottom line is, write a paragraph how you improved on either business, personal, athletics, life, sleep, whatever, with determining. You do that every day, every week, every month, all the way to December 31st. You'll see a change in yourself, but you'll have it all data and dictated, and you'll go back and remember every day. It'll blow you away watching yourself over the next 97 days or 96 days left in the year. And you know what? You'll want to do it the following year all the way through. First of all, if you do it, you get to cross the finish line. Cha-ching to you. And the second thing is you'll find out a lot about yourself. So I've been doing it for 2 years, and it's amazing. So that's my word, determination, value nugget. In any event, I appreciate y'all. Be safe. Take action. And I will see you tomorrow, where I have no idea, but I will. And determination. It's awesome.